The championship situation is critical. I currently stand 30 points away from P1 in the championship with only 3 rounds left to go in the season. And after the absolute horror show that were my past couple of races, a miracle is the only thing that can save my run for the title now. But what exactly happened? Last time out in Kyalami, I had the chance to win the feature race and close the gap to the championship leader. But I made a huge mistake and underfueled by just one lap, and that led me to lose out on the race win and finish down in P6, losing over 12 points in one weekend as a whole. And that brings us to today. Flying through the final corner, I am 3/10 up on my personal best, and crossing the start-finish line I managed to set a 1:44.611. My fastest lap of the entire weekend. A lap time good enough to grant me 3rd place on the grid for the sprint race. But it's still not good enough. And so, this is where I stand. P3 on the grid and right behind my championship rival Jos Everts, who managed to out-qualify me by just 0.08 of a second. Charlie Jemson is on pole, 3/10 quicker than me in qualifying. His pace is very strong this weekend, so trying to get past him will be very tricky. But my goal at this stage of the season isn't to win the race, but to outscore Jos. And that's way easier said than done. We get an incredible launch off the line, and as Jemson bogs down on the grid, we pass him and go up into P2. However, not good enough to challenge Jos into turn 1. But at the end of the lap, Jemson goes for a bold move and this happens. Diving down the inside, he overshoots the corner and barges me off the track. And as a result, both him and my teammate who was right behind pass and I fall down to P4. Meanwhile, Jos is running away with the win with a gap of over 2 seconds. Next lap, coming out of turn 5, my teammate Enzo slides out wide and grants Jemson his place back. Meanwhile, I set up a good exit and get alongside Enzo, passing him on the following straight. Heading into turn 6 now, I'm slightly overlapped with Jemson. I brake late and I try to hang it around the outside. I simply don't have the grip to keep up though, and I'm forced to yield. But then coming into the last sector, Jemson runs wide into the gravel. Gives me a chance to close in on him going into the final corner. But into the final corner, he runs wide, slows down massively, and I end up bumping into him as I set up a switchback. And then my teammate shoves his nose in last second. I end up bumping him as well, and I fall down to P4 once again. I managed to pass him back going into turn 1, but now Jos has a lead of over 5 seconds. Come on man, we're losing too much fucking time. And then it's the penultimate lap and I've got up to Jemson. Maybe I can try and at least get 2nd place. Every corner I close in more and more until coming out of turn 4. Jensen goes wide into the gravel. We go side by side into turn 5. I pass him for P2 with a beautiful switchback move and I instantly go cover the inside. We keep fighting all throughout the remainder of the lap. Until the final lap, we're going into the final corner. After nearly being taken out, we come out of the final corner ahead and we go to cross the line and finish the race in P2. Okay, come on. P2, come on, bro. Come on, man, come on. But we're still losing points. Time for the feature race. Lining up for the feature race, Jos will start ahead of me in P1 and I'll start right behind him in P2. Jemson is starting behind us this time, so hopefully we won't have to worry about him too much. The gap stands at 33 points now. Simply finishing ahead of him won't cut it anymore. I need to get him off the line and then leave it to the others to try and give him some trouble. This is the last shot I have at keeping this fight alive, and whether it works out or not, we're about to find out. We don't get him right off the line, but on the run down to turn 1 we slowly inch closer and closer. But then going into turn 1 my teammate dives it down the inside. I get a little snap of oversteer on the exit and I bounce all over the AstroTurf as he gets passed up into P2 and I go down to P3. But then on the back straight after turn 5, my teammate moves over and gives me the position back, leaving me free to hunt Jos down while he stays back to fend off the other drivers. With this in mind, it's now up to me to make it count and drive the best I can. But then, on lap 4, this happens. Red? The race is red flagged. The reason for the red flag was that apparently Jemson was teleported to the pits out of nowhere, and so the stewards decided to stop the race to allow him to rejoin. And as we head into the pits, me and my teammate begin discussing the strategy for the race restart. Maybe it doesn't even count as a stop. If it counts, we go mediums to the end. And so we line up for the restart in P2, with Jos in P1 and my teammate right behind me in P3. Our strategy now is to get to the end of the race on one set of medium tires. It's going to be tricky and it's going to be very risky, but at this point I have nothing to lose. We get a good launch off the line, but then a full course yellow is deployed before we even reach the first corner. Why? Apparently, as the lights went out, a massive pileup happened due to August swerving all over the road for some unknown reason. The full course yellow lasts for 4 laps, and all this does is hurt my strategy as I'll have less time to make use of my tire advantage. But unfortunately we can't do anything other than deal with it, and as we reach the end of the 4th lap, we go green with 13 laps of racing to go and continue the chase. On lap 12 out of 17, I'm now right on Jos's tail. I might be able to make a move here soon, while my tires are on their last legs. Chasing him all the way down the start-finish straight. Braking late for turn 1. Drifting around the outside. But the fight is far from over. After the near miss into the airpin, I slowly start to pull away. But then in the last few corners of the lap, this happens. I'm mix of both my tires being on the absolute limit and my car's natural tendency to understeer both lead me to veer off into the gravel. And as a result, Yoss instantly passes me and reclaims the lead for himself, and I slowly start to fall back more and more as my tires can't take it anymore. And coming across the line, I finished the race in P2, losing an additional 3 points. Just chalk this season up, dude. Just chalk this season up. And so, I come out of this weekend as the losing driver once more. On the Drivers' Championship standings, this weekend's total loss of 6 points opens the gap up even more, now standing at 36 points. Just 1 point shy of the gap I had after the worst races of my season in round 4. The only difference is that, well, there's only 2 rounds left to go now. My championship run might be well and truly over. All is not lost though, as on the constructors table my team still leads strong with a gap of over 20 points to our closest rivals behind. Even if we can't win the Drivers' Championship anymore, we can at least still win the constructors. But yeah, that's about it for this weekend. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel, as it will help me out a lot. See you next week for the penultimate round of the season in Dragon Trail.